$60 million for 4 years is the number on the paper, a seemingly reasonable price tag. But what if the true cost Toronto paid wasn't measured in dollars, but in the sudden, terrifying shift of power within the American League East? Are the Blue Jays actually signing a predictable third baseman? Or are they unlocking a dormant monster that the baseball world fundamentally misunderstands? A move so shrewd it makes every other off-season acquisition look like a desperate, high-variance gamble.
Welcome to 601 Daily News, where we dissect the $15 million per year enigma known as Kazuma Okamoto and tell you exactly why this acquisition isn't just an upgrade, it's the professional hitting anchor Toronto has desperately needed to transform their lineup from inconsistent power into a true juggernaut.
We have to begin with the raw numbers, the cold, hard truth that the NPB season provided. Because the consensus surrounding Okamoto is that his floor is not just high, it's cemented in concrete. Legendary baseball analyst Kenji Sato, who tracks NPB talent for multiple publications, articulated this perfectly. The Yahoo Cosmopolitan data doesn't lie. In a dead ball environment, the same environment that saw the league-wide OPS plunge to a historical 680 average last year, Okamoto was a statistical anomaly. He put up a minimum 882 career OPS over 1,000 games. But last season, he was first in the entire NPB in OPS by nearly 100 points over his closest competitor, and the gap between him and second place in slugging percentage was almost 20 points. Let me repeat that. Nearly 100 points better than his closest competitor, hitting a projected 30-plus homers and 100 RBI over an MLB season of 162 games.
That is the floor we are discussing for $15 million annually. The core competence here is patience combined with power. He strikes out as often as he walks, a balance that screams polished professional hitter in any language. Of course, I hear the immediate whispers, the inevitable counter-argument that follows every high-profile signing from Japan. Will the power translate? Will the defense hold up?
Legendary scout Rick Pierce, a man who has clocked power swings across continents for decades, threw cold water on the immediate positional hype, saying, he's a corner guy, maybe a DH. His defensive metrics at third, specifically his UZR/150, were trending negative last season at a troubling negative 4.1, and the throwing arm profiles as merely average. That $60 million is strictly for the bat, and bats sometimes shrink under the glare of major league pressure. This is where the strategic brilliance of the Blue Jays front office comes into play, escalating this entire narrative to its climax. They aren't paying $60 million for a Gold Glove third baseman. They are buying an elite offensive stabilizer, an immediate upgrade from the high-variance performances they experienced last season. The narrative that he must play third base to justify the deal collapses instantly when you look at the larger roster construction. George Springer can now slide into the DH spot more often, giving him much-needed rest and opening up the outfield competition to Barger, while Okamoto can hold down third base, knowing that if his glove proves untenable, the DH spot is waiting, a perfect landing cushion for his offensive firepower. This is the central plot twist of the signing. The contract value itself is the ultimate leverage. $15 million per year is what you pay for a good reliever or an average starting outfielder today. For a professional bat with a career 277.361.521 slash line in the most pitcher-friendly environment in the world, a guy who showed in 2018 and 2023 that he can hit for average and supreme power, this is highway robbery. As GM consultant Sarah Chen explained to me, it's not about what he cost. It's about what he prevents Toronto from having to overpay for later. By locking down a 30-homer threat for 4 years at this price, they have massive financial flexibility. The $15 million deal changes the math entirely for pending negotiations, whether that's a Bo Bichette extension or a pursuit of Kyle Tucker down the line. They bought stability without sacrificing future maneuverability. The emotional connection for Blue Jays fans should be one of profound relief. This is the mature bat needed to hit sixth, to protect the middle of the order, and to prevent the prolonged offensive slumps that derailed previous seasons. Okamoto doesn't just add depth, he adds a layer of professional maturity and consistency that fundamentally transforms the entire offense from potential boom or bust to high-floor inevitability.
The true price Toronto paid was indeed the sudden, terrifying signal to the Yankees and Orioles that they are done messing around. They are buying proven competence in a market full of overpriced risk. So if you appreciate this kind of deep dive analysis into how a singular international signing can restructure a franchise's entire outlook, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with fellow fans, and subscribe to 601 Daily News for more unparalleled insights.
My question for you today is this. Given Okamoto's high floor and the $15 million annual commitment, where do you project his final slot in the Blue Jays lineup to be? And which current starter does his arrival immediately push out of a primary role? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.